first became involved with ADL as a young man at the age of 26. And along the way, he was mentored by both professional and lay leaders. When he died at age 41, his family and I felt that the best way to honor him was to create an award that would give young leaders the same opportunities that he was given, recognizing the work that they did in their communities.
ADL's mission is so vital to our work, and it's become more relevant over the past few years and even more apparent since October 7th, with anti-Semitism being on the rise.
So in 2013, when I was volunteering at the first Houston In Concert Against Hate, I actually met my wife, Talia. We have two daughters who sometimes get referred to in Houston as ADL babies.
I have to say I am very proud to be a member of an organization like ADL that has consistently stood up and has always tried to stay in the room and have conversations with different sides.
I had never been attacked as much for being Jewish and or being part of the community and being an advocate for the Jewish community. I always considered ADL to be such a safe place. And then it turned, and then after 10/7, in so many bizarre ways, turned into almost like an enemy.
Joining ADL and starting in the Glass Leadership Institute and joining on to different projects, it was one of those, I stopped focusing on the self-doubt and just do the why not.
We can get distracted by issues themselves, whether it's a personal issue or an institutional issue that we're facing, but we exist as schools to educate and to center kids.
Oftentimes stepping out for a cause, even if it's the most morally just and right cause, and putting your name out there as somebody who stands for an issue requires a sense of strength and inner fortitude and commitment that isn't always apparent until you're actually out there.
One of the most difficult challenges I've faced during my time as an ADL volunteer is overcoming the belief that young people are unable to contribute to the organization because they aren't able to make the same level of financial commitment that some of the more seasoned leaders are. I just had to keep working.
It was actually September 11th, so a day that is pretty significant on its own. And I went to the school and had the opportunity again to present that banner to our participating school. And I recognized at the time the importance of our work at ADL and teaching our future generations to be an ally and to stand up for others.
I take a group of 10th graders to the Holocaust Memorial Museum throughout the school year, about 10 times a year. And following one of our visits, a student in my school really was moved by that experience and what she learned through our visit to the museum and some of our work as a No Place for Hate school. And she applied to be a docent at the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum.
The world has only gotten more complex and things have gotten even more challenging. And my ADL board membership and my support of the organization has actually paid me more dividends.
We met with college students at Houston Hillel after October 7th in the beginning of 2024 and learned what their experiences were like on campus. And we're able to introduce ADL to some of them who didn't know about the organization.
ADL gives a space for those that agree and that also do not agree.
At first, when I joined ADL, I was more focused on the hatred. I wasn't really focused on the anti-Semitism part, but every Never Is Now that I attended, the alarms were sounding.
I really want to continue my work within the sphere of education. I also hope to link the work we're doing in education with that of the groups that are working and advocate and working in the area of advocacy. I think there's a lot of potential that we can do in working through school boards and legislatures to encourage sound and comprehensive Holocaust education within our school systems.
I think listening is really crucial. And we need to understand the different perspectives that allow us to build bridges and create meaningful impact.
I will continue to build partnerships within the legal community, as well as the Jewish community here in Nevada. I will continue to seek out new partnerships, build on those existing partnerships that I've established here.
I became a member of the National Commission at the beginning of this year, so I'm looking forward to getting more involved with ADL on a national level.
I've really tried to, as I've, gone on my ADL journey, to learn to listen and also stay in the room and continue the fight. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be easy. It's always going to be unpredictable.
Really, my greatest hope is that through the advocacy and all of my work that I'll make my parents, my husband, my kids, family, extended family, friends, just really make them proud.
I try to bring innovative solutions to problems, and I am never willing to give up at finding a solution until I'm satisfied the problem is solved.
I think it is so important to empower our future generations to, stand up and to give and to listen and be there.
That's kind of the thing that I rely on most is the mission and our sense of purpose. I think it allows us to find an inner strength. It allows us to be resilient when we are facing setbacks. And it also is a source of hope, I think.
Create common ground and build those bridges and maintain those bridges. I would also hope that people would think that I was open-minded enough and curious about the world and the people in it and how they've been on their own individual journey.
I especially want to mention Dina because I've worked very closely with her on the International Affairs Committee, and she's always working hard for the ADL, and she's always willing to push the envelope when it's needed to make sure that we go down the right path.
ADL personally here in the South Central region, I have been inspired by pretty much every single person I have met who has been affiliated with the organization.
So one of the most influential people in the ADL for me was David Friedman. David ran the Bearing Witness Institute that I participated in 1999, and then he continued to expand it to a national program. David was a huge resource for me, and a great source of encouragement and a great mentor.
The first person that I have to thank is Lindsay Friedman. She has come into my life conveniently at random moments that were pivotal to my trajectory.
I work really closely with Angela Atlas, who is a true advocate for ADL, and she's been spent her professional time with ADL. And she really empowers everyone in our region to not be scared of picking up the phone and asking for support.
Jonathan Greenblatt, the CEO of ADL, he is a relentless advocate for our cause. And one thing that sticks with me every year that he says at every convention is you have to do the work.
My advice to the young leaders of the conference is meet as many ADL leaders as you can. Reach out to past awardees and tell them what you're doing. Find out what they've been doing and how they are addressing challenges that they're facing in their community. Share your experience as a leader in your town or city. ADL needs young leaders like you. Only by new thoughts, new creative energy will ADL have continued success as an organization.